I was taking my daughter to the park yesterday and we ran into a neighbor who was out walking her dogs. She stopped me and literally said the world was coming to an end. Wildfires, earthquakes, Harvey, Irma, now Maria. And that got me thinking. And we talked a lot about this in the newsroom yesterday, but do you realize the amount of news that we have access to every second on any given day is the most in human history by far? The 24-hour news cycle on TV, the internet, smartphones, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can get everything today in real time. Big difference from when my grandparents were kids in the 1920s. Unless they read it in a newspaper or literally heard it on radio, they didn't know it happened. Think about that for a second. If we just had radio and newspapers today, do you really think you'd have ever heard about things like the Fukushima earthquake in Japan in 2013 or the earthquake in Haiti that affected the city of Port-au-Prince? Or what about the Asian tsunami in 2004? They made a movie about that. Or what about Typhoon Hainan in 2013? The answer is probably not. But guess what? I didn't have to Google any of those to remember them. They're totally ingrained in my mind from all the media coverage at the time. And that just wasn't the case until basically just recently, like 20 years ago. Originally, I'm from the state of Massachusetts, and everybody up there knows about the Great Molasses Flood in the city of Boston in 1919. It flooded half the city. People died. You can see this headline from the Boston Post the day after it happened. But nobody up there knows that during that same year, a Cat 4 hurricane hammered the Florida Keys, but everyone in the Keys can tell you the exact date that the storm hit, September 14th, 1919. My point is, the world has gone totally global. We're not local anymore. So back to my neighbor now. She could be right. What do I know, right? But I promise you that a lot of the same stuff that we're hearing about today was happening before. We just didn't hear about it.